Hello property lovers, welcome to Property Focus, your window into the world of architecture, building construction and real estate. It's rather natural to install a fence in your property, be it for security, keeping kids and pets in, or more for decorative use than utilitarian purposes. You just simply need a fence. In today's episode, we'll look at things to keep in mind when building your fence, and some could figuratively shock you. They're the basics, like the purpose of the fence, budget, plan for entrances, but we're going to delve in a bit further onto what you need to know about when you're putting up your fence. We're more exterior today, but buckle up and welcome to another insightful episode of Property Focus. I'm your host, Peter Ngigi.
My name's Macmillan, Fretch. I work with the Boma fence
Yes.
on a technical section.
Okay.
We do the technical sales
Yes.
and customer relationship.
Ah, wonderful.
So we try to create the awareness of the Boma products. Then at the same time, we go and look around to advise clients. You know, many people are not aware. They have plots,
Yes.
they have their gardens, but really on what to do, the best thing on how to secure their property. Many people lack that technical know-how.
And that is why you're here. Tell us about this particular fence, for instance. This is really interesting, by the way. Tell us about this. What's the name of it? What's the type of fence?
This one here, we call it the clear view fence. As even you can see, from here you can be able to see each and every detail inside. That's why you call it a clear view fence. And therefore you see people are now embracing it. You know, people are used to the conventional parameter walls made of concrete. But we are also looking at environment friendly way of approach to life.
Yes.
So with this one, you see, it's giving you a provision.
Absolutely.
That you can be able to plant a green fence behind it.
Okay.
Yeah?
Now, what's the installation process for this?
So for this one, you see,
Yes.
as you can see clear view, this one is just a normal way of installation of a properly erected structure. Now here you have to make holes. You see we have a reinforcement of, these are metallic. You can even still use concrete posts
Okay.
to reinforce and support it.
Okay.
Just a matter of you make holes of around 2 feet deep. Then you make a concrete segregation around it just to hold it firm. But you can also put some other aesthetic, like the way you see.
Okay.
You put some paving slabs. You can advertise your things here. You can place anything here. You can paint it.
Yes.
You can sit on it, and you can put flowers here. So that's why we do it. But the main thing is just you use any means to erect it and make it stand firm. And you see, this one will bury. There's nothing. It's a barrier. Nothing can pass through.
Yes.
But you can be able to see through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can it be made electric?
This can be made electric. As you can see, this is metallic. So it's a good conductor of electricity. So in any way you will need security from this. Therefore you can connect electricity by electrical people and still operate like any other electrical fence.
What's a good current to have here?
The current, the type of current or the intensity of current to be put depends with what you are securing. And therefore those who do the electrical engineering, they will advise accordingly, according to what, as per the client's specification, what he wants or she wants to secure.
Yes.
Then that will determine the intensity of electricity to pass through.
Macmillan, what are some of the benefits of having an electric fence vis-a-vis a non-electric fence?
Electric fence, as you see, once you connect all the electrical gadgets, you can even make it secure in a way that you connect everything to your mobile phone.
Yes.
And therefore, whenever you are, you can be able to detect any interference of your boundary, of one's boundary, when he is very far, because it's connected to the phone, and therefore you can be able to check security of your property from a distance.
To ensure the full performance of this fence, are there complementary products that you use?
Yeah. As we said, you see, this is a clear view fence, and therefore from the inside you can be able to
put a live fence.
Live fence, like the kayaba, and the rest of which you can also cut to your specifications.
Okay.
And you have well aerated compound or well aerated space.
Yes.
At the same time, there is that nature. You are compliant to nature. We are, as we see, we are going green. Therefore, you can be able to make plants there. They'll get proper aeration.
Yes.
Therefore, there's no that need of much of concrete perimeter walls. So,
Macmillan, give us your parting shots.
Kama tulivyosema ni kwamba kuna msemo wa Kiswahili unaosema usipoziba ufa. utajenga ukuta. Lakini kufuatana na hizi mali ambayo tunayotumia, hakuna siku ambayo utapata ufa kwenye hii. Kwa hivyo kamwe hutatarajia kwamba utakuja kuziba ufa. Kwa hivyo ukuta wako utakuwa imara kabisa.
Macmillan, thank you very much for coming on to the show. Asante sana. Good, good, good. That was Macmillan. Now, if your wall is getting cracks, it's simple. Get yourself one of these fancy looking fences. Very amazing. Brilliant. That was amazing. On that latest trend on electric fences, we're going to take a short commercial break, pay some bills, get back, and we have a chat with another fencing installer expert to just tell us a little bit more about fences. Stay tuned. And welcome back, and thanks for keeping it property focused. Now on to less shocking matters. We're going to look at the non-electric fence, and I'm joined here with none other than William. Welcome to Property Focus.
Thank you,
Good.
Mr. Peter,
Yes.
for having me. I'm William Kamau,
Yes.
a fence contractor offering customized fencing solutions to the satisfaction of our clients.
When it comes to posts, what types of posts are there?
So basically, we have 4 types of posts that go alongside with the kind of wire you choose. We have the concrete post, we have the treated timber post, we have the plastic post, and we have the steel post.
Now, what's an appropriate height for these posts?
The standard height for the post is usually 6 feet. And for you to achieve the 6 feet, the post itself is required to be of 8 feet high.
8 feet high?
Exactly, because we need to put underground 2 feet. 2 feet because to achieve the firmness of the post. Yes.
What are the different types of chain links in the markets today?
For example, with me here, I have a single twist chain link wire, just like this.
It's a single twist chain link wire.
Exactly. So, and the gauge there, it's usually 12.5 gauge. So the sample I've given you, it comes in various height, starting from 4 feet all the way to 8 feet. The other ones, we usually have the one which is usually the PVC coated wire. So basically, it is usually coated with, it has a plastic coating. It is usually used in areas whereby we have extreme weather conditions. For example, areas in Mombasa, whereby the water there is kind of salty. To avoid it from lasting, so we usually advise for the PVC coated one. In addition to the different types of wire we have a galv mesh wire here. So basically the standard dimension usually comes with 8 by 4 feet. I'm talking of 8 feet length and a width of 4 feet. So this one is basically used for high security purposes.
Now, when it comes to treatment, tell us about how you treat wood.
Now, there are 2 ways to prove whether the post is treated. One of the way is whereby you look at the index of the chemical used. When you talk of the CCA treatment, they usually have the longevity index, whereby the treatment, the chemical that is being used, they say this chemical will serve for, let's say 20 years, let's say 30 years. That is one of the way you can check whether the post is treated. Another way is whereby some of the traders, they usually paint the treatment, the chemical. They usually paint the chemical on the surface. And the essence for the post treatment, the chemical should get deep inside the post. What am I saying getting deep inside the post? It should get to the innermost diameter of that post. In some of the cases, we usually say impregnating the post with the treatment. So another way whereby you can confirm the treatment of that post, you can have a cut, a cross-section of the cut of the post. Then from that post, you'll be able to view. For example, here, we can see the treatment has not gotten to the innermost part of it. It has gotten almost the 3/4 of the whole diameter of the post. So for the best treatment of the post, it should be at least to the inner circle of that post.
Now, what are the different straining points for posts?
So basically, the straining point, the basics ones we have, usually have 2 types. We have the H straining post.
This is over here, this is a H over here.
Exactly. So it is usually derived from the letter H. As you can see, it is creating a H letter. So, and also we have the diagonal. Usually the diagonal straining point.
So this is a H, this is a 45.
The H straining position. So basically we call it the box assembly. So it is one of the straining setup that we usually have. And with this kind of setup, you usually achieve the desired strain of the wire. So to achieve that, the diagonal post is usually advisable to be the 3/4 the height of the post. What am I saying this? If you have it below the 3/4 line, the wires at the top will not achieve the desired strain.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Let's come to the diagonal one. The diagonal one basically it's create a right angle setup, whereby the straining point is vertically upward, then the support is usually fixed diagonal. And for this case, also for you to achieve the strain, the desired strain of the wire, it must be at the top, at most 3/4 the height of the post. So basically, if from the ground the post is 6 feet, we are talking of the pointing point of the diagonal should be at most 4 to 5 feet, somewhere around there.
Now, how does one know which one to use on their property?
Exactly. So for you to use a H straining point, usually a device whereby you are dealing with longer distances. For example, when you are doing 100 acres, the 50 acres, so you need to consider this kind of straining point because you usually achieve the desired strains of the wire. And for example, and when you are doing the H, the diagonal setup,
For your 50 by 100.
exactly, and such. And also another factor to consider when doing the straining point, the straining point, for example, in this case, this is the straining post, should always be of a higher diameter, a wider diameter than the rest of the post. Remember, this is a post that which is carrying the whole weight of the fence. And basically, in this case, we are talking of the wire. So it is acting against the force of the wire.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for coming on to the show.
Pressure.
H Post 45, Ben. Super amazing. Well, that was very informative. We've got our studio units, 1-bedroom units, 2-bedroom units from 4 million bob. We've got our billboards on that and a materials profile thereafter. Stay tuned. Unlock a world full of divine moments, graceful memories, and treasured experiences. Indulge in a magical fusion of nature, art, and architecture in the heart of Westlands at Kenzie Residence. Deeply connect with the most distinct features, mind-blowing views, and delightful amenities while immersed in utmost elegance. Book your studio 1 or 2-bedroom unit starting from 4 million shillings and enjoy our flexible 4-year payment plan. Call us today on 0728 000 002 or visit our website on www.safeproperties.com. Thank you for staying with us from our billboards on those fantastic deals. Now, we're going to have an interview with a young chap who's employed quite a significant number of people and is doing amazing things in the fence manufacturing space. Super amazing things. Let's have a chat with this young lad in just a moment, find out how he's doing what he's doing. Welcome to Property Focus.
Thank you, Peter.
Tell us about yourself.
I am Antony, Kuria Jenga. I am the founder of Boma Fence. And before getting into Boma Fence, I started in a car hire business. But I never used to own a car. So what we used to do, we used to get customers and people who have the cars. So it would be the in-between, you know. This I started after college. But what I did in college is very different from what I was doing because I was in hospitality. Yes.
So how did you get into the fence industry?
How I got into the fence business, I started, before getting into fence business, I was doing manufacturing of BLC. How I got into BLC manufacturing, it was after supplying. We were buying from different manufacturing companies who do this BLC. Then I would sell to projects.
Speaking of manufacturing, what's the manufacturing process for these fences?
The manufacturing process of fence starts from when we procure the galvanized wire. We import this galvanized wire from different parts of the world. Once it gets into our warehouse, we do the value addition. How we add the value, the machines that we use, normally they do the netting of the wire. This wire comes in different gauges. We have wires ranging from 14 gauge, 15 gauge, and 12 and a half.
What is a gauge?
The gauge is like the gauge is the thickness of this.
Okay.
You see, the thickness of the wire is the gauge.
Okay.
So 15 gauge is the,
Yes.
the 12 and a half gauge is the thickest wire.
Yes.
But we can go all the way from, depending on the customer's preference.
Yes.
Yes, there are people who would say 3.5, 4 mm, all the way. Yes.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about this clear view fence.
Oh, okay. This clear view fence,
Yes.
It's a good fence because one, clear view fence, you cannot climb the fence.
Okay.
It's anti-climb because your own fingers cannot, you cannot put your own fingers. The size of the wire, you cannot put your own fingers. Then it's you can add value to it. You can put electric. It can become electric fence.
Okay.
At the same time, this fence, if you're putting it somewhere that you don't want to obstruct,
Yes.
it has a clear view of what is inside.
Yes.
Maybe a marketplace.
Yes.
It's very good for such places.
Hence the name.
Hence the name Clear View.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, we had a conversation a bit earlier. How high can some of these fences go?
Depending on where it's being installed,
Yes.
the customer's preference,
Yes.
it can go high to the height of where the customer, maybe he's putting it in a garden, he's putting it in between walls, inside home. So maybe he would say, I don't want this height, but I am from maybe 2 feet all the way.
Okay.
Yes.
How long does it take to make a fence?
It takes, from the process of manufacturing, because we are a manufacturing company,
Yes.
to install into a customer,
Yes.
it will take us about 7 days.
Interesting.
Sure.
Interesting.
Yes.
Any myths that you'd like to demystify about fences?
Some of the myths I would like to clear is
Yes.
many people would take fence
Yes.
only for maybe perimeter fencing, maybe to fence homes, to fence. Maybe you need this fence only for demarcation purposes.
Yes.
Fencing is broader because even in your own home, once you fence, it's maybe a particular area, it becomes beautiful. Particular maybe area you're putting in flowers, particular the grass area, the green area, so it becomes beautiful.
Okay.
Yes.
And you also mentioned you can use it also for construction.
Yes, you can use it in construction. Instead of using once you're doing construction,
Yes.
this is how you do holding.
Yes.
You can hold with the fence,
Okay.
and this one it will save you money because you're not likely to remove this fence once your construction is done.
Okay.
You can do it as you construct.
Yes.
So you will fence, you will do your green, green area. Then once you finish the construction, it will just be, there'll be no double work because many people do fencing, holding,
Yes.
then you build,
Yeah.
then again you think about fencing. But you already did fencing when you did holding.
Yes.
Sure.
For the groundworks and everything.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Give us your parting shot.
What I would like to encourage more and more people is that everything is doable, and we import so many things from outside.
Okay.
We import so much and we can produce so much because we have all it takes. We have labor, we have manpower, we have all it takes. The government is giving us conducive environment to do business, so we can do it. Like for example, when you come to buy from us, you're buying from a Kenyan, and we're promoting Kenya. We're buying Kenya, building Kenya.
Thank you very much for coming onto the show.
You're welcome.
Brilliant. There you have it from Antony on fences and some of the latest trends on this product. Stay tuned. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. That's been an absolutely amazing, informative show on fences. Now reach out to us just right below over here on those social media handles, and we'll get more guests and more hot topics on this show. This has been delightful. I've been your host, Peter Ngigi.